Hello, viewers and random people of the planet Earth. This is Blue Pine here from Blue Pine Gaming, and I just wanted to welcome you to my very first playthrough. Welcome to the Stanley Parable. Now, before I begin, I just want to say how excited I am to start making videos, and how excited I am to become a part of the community. With that said, this is my first video, and I'm not that good at commentating. I'm not the best. I know that I'm not the best. Just give me some time. That's all I ask. Let me get my bearings. I hope you enjoy this. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was just simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Well, that's boring.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month.
What comes out of this
And
productive?
although others might have considered it soul-bending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in.
Why?
Though he had been made exactly for this job.
What benefit does this company get from
was
him
happy.
pushing buttons?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
It took him
No
an
one
hour
had
to
showed up
realize
to give
that.
him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this
An
happened.
hour.
This complete
Wait, you
isolation.
mean to tell me he's been
Something
sitting
was
there
very
pushing
clearly
buttons
wrong.
for a year?
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Stuffing.
All of his co-work on. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to them. Perhaps he had simply missed him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, a choice.
Stanley came to a set of two doors. He entered the door on his left.
Okay. Door on left. Wonder where this goes. Oh, a chair. What a lovely
Yet
chair.
there was not a single person here either.
Not
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office to find an answer there.
That might be worth a look later.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Boom. I assume this is the office. Oh no, this is just the bathroom. Is this one right? Nope.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Do I have
no
that?
indication of any human life. Shocked. Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated what dark secret was held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that is had been keeping from him. And so the boss 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, he put the correct amazing. He opened passageway.
You know, I think for the first time going through, I think I'm going to follow the directions. What does he say? Said walk in. I assume I had to push the button. Boop. An elevator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now that never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
That's gonna help. Okay. Oh. Oh, what? Anyways, I feel stupid now. Escape. I'll save you for later.
Lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he strength to fight?
What is this? Boop.
Now the life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building and his co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally wandered in this place where freedom.
Oh. No. See, little thing about me. I'm afraid of
This
heights.
mind facility, it was too horrible.
I would not be able to do this in real life.
Had Stanley really his control on all
And
this?
if this
Was
was
the
a
only
virtual
reason he
reality,
was happy with his
get it.
boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life
This was a
in
virtual
someone else's
reality.
control? Never. It was
never.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotion, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, and they decided that this machine would never hold power over life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Power button. Power button. Is that what he wants me to push? Oh, I'm supposed to go through there.
And when at last he found the source, he knew it was his duty. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you want? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But just so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, to off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do, and I believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency.
What?
detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA you set to
Nuclear?
explode in the entire complex. How long until
Where'd
detonation?
that power button go?
2 minutes. Now this is meant to make it a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much. We have so little time
Fail
to
safe
enjoy
disabled.
it. Mere moments until the bomb goes
So,
off.
no matter
But
what,
precious
I'm
moments
screwed.
each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
Can I shut it
where
off
we're
here?
going, what all this means. I will start. What's that? You'd like to know where you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing
Well,
and then die.
that's fun.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you. It's quite rich. I must hate to see it go. Shots go around will be even better. My goodness. Only 34 seconds left, but I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock right now. These are precious seconds and grow on trees. What's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just the capable of taking it off? I mean, look at you. Running button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red blue thing, anything, some save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten, won, sold? And yeah, what your purpose in this bit is? Stay. You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep it. It's just seconds away to your death. Playing instead of watching a cutscene. Watch you for every moment powerless. Stay humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You rule this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first. So you... Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No,
right.
Just you being...
I accept it. I'm dead.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it gracefully? Another choice.
I've come to peace with my decisions.
Or don't. It's all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Well, that was depressing. Okay, then. That was a thing. I got blown up. Blew up. Bang. Boom. Gone. I'm dust now. So, I think I'm going to go back through it again. And I'm going to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going to play it right and get the right in.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, trace of his co-workers.
I'm going to get the correct ending this time. Hopefully it's a happy ending. You know, where I don't blow up.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he on his left.
Nope.
Yet there was a person
Go up to his boss's office.
Stanley decided to go up to boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping in to his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover what an inmate. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he had a few moments with some calming new age music.
What? Thank you.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the passageway.
Oh. Camera. There we go. So, I know I'm not the best at commentary, and I know who the big guys are, good people. People like Mars, people like PewDiePie. But there's one thing that I was never able to understand.
The lights rose.
How can they just sit in a room
with television screen
for hours on end? I mean, I know it seems like 15 minutes, like, because that's the video length, but how are they able to just sit there for hours? Because you know they edit a lot of stuff out. And
true nature revealed.
They could just sit there for hours rambling about nothing and everything at the same time. I mean, great, now I feel it. But like, they just sit there talking to themselves. Like, is it easy?
To believe it couldn't be. Had Stanley lost control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy?
I mean, I guess if you're doing it
that
for
his
as long
emotions
as
had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Second thought.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept his own life in someone else's control. Never. It was unthinkable. Okay. Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? It was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this place. As the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
this time,
over another human
I'm
life.
going to do this. And I broke the game. Again. Huh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Maybe? Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Freedom!
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this stone hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized
Well,
none of this
I know
mattered
the
to
answer to
him,
one of those
for it was not
questions.
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
I mean, that's less adored, more moving along, but whatever you want to call it, buddy. Boom.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of a new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, that's good. I'm happy that he's happy. Good for him. At least someone in this world, or that world, is happy. Alright, so I think I'm going to end it there. I think I'm going to keep it 2 endings per video. So, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Alright? Keep it real.